it's all old, so I don't really want to start an older spot. So what I'm going to do...
Now, just for what it's worth, he was not known much in the community because he had just come in. He was an outsider, and they probably didn't have any money, so he is probably on the outside edge of things, not in with the main part of the town.
I found a lady's leg one time.
Is that right?
I knew where it was.
Yeah.
I knew the story. And I went looking for Catherine's leg, and oh my gosh, I can't believe I found it. Okay, so when they bury him facing east for the final day. So I'm just going to start here because I know right here I have a male. But I'm looking for... So, what I'm going to do, he is a male.
Yep, his left is male, right is female.
Right, and I'm going to double check it's a male. Okay, here's my walkway.
You can see the depression. Yep.
Well, I think the grave is here. This depression is a female.
Which one?
Right
that
here.
One?
This with the grass is really growing, that's a female. Our fellow's right here.
Yep.
Male.
Yep. That's too easy.
Male. Okay, so I'm going to do it a couple different ways. I'm just going to do his last name. Then I'm going to do this. What I'm finding when I'm going dowsing, I almost walk to it, just like I did with William Wilson. I had no idea, you know. Okay, that's
his name.
Now I want to just write
CSA.
CSA. That's what we did with William Wilson.
Right.
We did Union, and my rods didn't move, and so I'm going to do Union also.
Just to be sure.
Mm-hmm. And then I did one with the Genealogical Society of Montgomery County. I said, I know I got somebody murdered here. Found him, wasn't marked. I said, you want to know how he died? I'm starting to show off. And I said, if he was murdered, it's either poison or a gun. So I put poison. Went back, put gunshot. Okay,
Yep.
CSA.
Yep.
So now, let me borrow your pen again, unless I kept it. I'm just going to write Union on here. You take that.
Okay.
Nothing should happen.
Should not.
If it does.
That was all too easy. But see, I knew he had to be on the edge of the cemetery because he's just the way it was. Nothing happened.
Now I'm going to go back because I have a Union or a rural one or a Union veteran back there, Jacob Herzl or something I just passed.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back. I'm looking for any Union veterans. This man is Union?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
13th Illinois.
Yep.
Now, well, we found him, and I did bring Laugh, and I'm going to mark a big cross to mark his grave, and I'd like it back whenever you get your stone set. You said you got it ordered?
Yeah.
So let's go.
Oh, I've already got the stone.
Right.
You've
had it for 2 months or so. I am going to, we're going to get him out again. Okay. The grave starts here. Right, walkway.
Yeah. Now you should be able
Now
to.
this will be the head of the grave.
Foot should be right.
Right, and this is how I can tell it's a
Male, adult or child.
Exactly. So
Yep.
the grave ends here.
Well, you're not very tall. Yeah. Well, it's 6 foot
Yeah.
length, so that's the coffin.
It's the 1860s. It probably would have been a box.
Yep.
You know, they did coffins and over coffins.
Yep.
So,
and he didn't have any money, so it was probably just a pine.
let's see how far down he is. Six foot.
Yeah.
They did put him 6 foot down. We haven't had any erosion. Because sometimes when you've got a slanted cemetery, I found a Indian in Van Dyke, it's only 3 foot down. But he's the one I think that was hung. They brought him in from Missouri for killing, he was an Osage, for killing a white family.
Right.
Leavenworth took him before a judge. He said, "We're not a state. You've got to take him to the nearest sitting Supreme Court." So he strapped him to a horse, brought him to Vandalia. They found him guilty, took him right out in front of the old Capitol, about 1821, hung him. I thought, well, where is he? Old State Burial Ground. I thought, okay, they were going to put him near the good white people.
Yeah.
So I went like over the hill, find Indian. Swing. But now I got to go back and verify Osage. So I'm going to get that cross for you.
Okay.
And
Good.
we're,
That was,
I didn't know if the cemetery is old, new, or what, so I brought a weed whacker, but I don't need it here. It's a nice. That's like right in front of your truck.
Uh-huh.
There's a nail there. John, would you like to try this? What I was told is there had to be somebody in every family who could do it because they needed to find water.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't find water, of course,
You'd die.
my sons can all do it.
Let me try.
I have a 70-year-old man who'd give his eye teeth. But he cannot. Mr. Larkin, I did.
Now, some people have to use a straw so that they don't influence it. If you hold your hand up here, you can influence it. But with me, my plane is the center of my body. Some people's is in their hands.
I tried the bottoms of ballpoint pens when I was showing some ladies because I wanted to show them I am not affecting this. It's just what you're able to do is read the electrical. Everything's electric, and the ground has electric.
Not everybody can do it,
no.
and I don't know. It's been so long, and I think God gives you that ability when you need it. And
I didn't know I could until a lady showed me, and she could.
there it goes.
Now some people's go out like ours, but
Yeah,
other
there's
people
the
they
other one.
cross inward.
Yeah,
I tell them it's like belly
Yeah,
buttons.
mine
You have an
don't-
innie or an outie.
Yeah, mine always go out.
Mine too.
No, so that, but I'm not as sensitive as I was. Well, I was telling you about that thing. I came up to the thing, and just about the time I got to the end, all of a sudden, they and I felt so sure someone was going to reach up through the ground and pull me into the ground.
How old were you when you were doing this, girl?
Oh, this is about 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But I just felt like someone was going to pull me into the ground. And I put the rods down and I said, we got to checking it. And he did it several times. It was a mother and at least 2 children, different sex, that died of the 1919 flu. But it was 3 people in the grave. That's
So
why
that's
it was
why
so
it was so
intense.
much.
And because it was male and female.
Well, see, what I found too, if it won't quite go male or female, I readjust, go back, and sometimes they'll use the top part of the grave for one child,
Right.
a walkway, and the bottom part for
Right.
another child.
Right. But
And then the stomping, Conan's well diggers showed my friend that.
Now that carried it to the
That
right.
way I don't know. Okay.
That
well,
carried it to the right, which
that
is female.
showed female.
There it's pulling to the left this time. I don't know. Maybe you have to be so careful not to.
Something here. Especially since his isn't one. But right beyond, that is a female, but we don't know her name. We could check to see. I didn't even check to see if that was the same last name.
It didn't turn on me that time. I'm not nearly as sensitive as I was.
I'm getting more sensitive as I do it. In fact, I knew over here that I was approaching.
You can feel it.
And that is what has just started within the last 3 years because I've been doing a lot.
Right.
Well, let's see if beyond that is a, do you want to do it? See if that's a Lindsey?
In the process, remarried, and he didn't want the kids, and so they farmed the kids out, and
You borrow your pen again.
it's on the